developer.
The MC will be intimidating us under the guise of decongestion in order to settle this matter out of court. That's not the process. So we are saying that the matter is already in court and the court should decide.
Also coming up, NDC executives in Bimbela protest school feeding allocation as they reject the slots being given to what they describe or term as outsiders.
If he made a mistake and let a woman from elsewhere to come to our community to do the feeding program, in fact, we not agree. We beat the person.
Still ahead, Greater Accra Regional Hospital condemns assault on nurse at its emergency ward.
So, as a facility, we appeal to public cooperation. We understand the anxiety of the families during emergencies, but interference in the triad delays care and endangers life. If you look at the video, the clinicians had to step aside because they were being interfered and they were being threatened by these.
And later, 14 persons injured in a Sukoko accident that claimed 4 lives last week transferred to tertiary facilities to receive advanced medical care.
The death rate is still 4. And those who sustain severe injuries, the 2 little girls are referred to Ridge Hospital, Accra.
The news is live across a number of our partner stations. In the Western region, Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. In the Bono region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 also in Kumasi. And in the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajivu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. We begin from Ashaiman, where more than 100 traders under the Peaceful Settlement Association are protesting what they describe as an unlawful eviction from their place of work. The group, made up of traders from the Ni Amwi market, Ni Ajo and the Ashaiman main market, say despite a court injunction barring their eviction, the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly has taken over the land and handed it to a private developer. Spokesperson for the association, Jeffrey Ellie, told the media that members will resist any attempt to remove them, insisting they will remain on the land until due process is followed.
The illegal intimidation, how they're intimidating us to sign an illegal agreement with a private developer. These individuals and the assembly called us to a meeting that we should sign an agreement with the encroacher so that he can allow, so that he will be able to take over the whole land. The land belongs to Peaceful Settlers Association. We have documents to the land. And it's land, and we've been paying ground rent since the land has been leased to us. So we do not understand why the MC will be intimidating us under the guise of decongestion in order to settle this matter out of court. That's not the process. So we are saying that the matter is already in court and the court should decide.
You heard there Jeffrey Ellie, who is president of the Peaceful Settlers Association. Let's now hear from Member of Parliament for Shaiman, Ernest Nogbe, who has assured the traders that he will engage the Municipal Assembly on the eviction.
I'll have to meet the Chief Executive, listen to him, the basis for which this place is also being decongested. But first of all, let's all understand, I am not to determine who the land belongs to, because I was not there, so I don't know. It is only the courts that can do that, the documentations. And the 1960 that my brother is mentioning, I'm not sure most of you were there, except maybe our father here. So myself, I was not there. But that Accra was not born. So I may not be able to determine. It's only the courts that can determine. But my challenge, whether the land belongs to A or B, where people get their livelihood, where people get something to feed their families, if we want to take action on it, we must be cautious of taking action, especially if that problem will not affect the community to an extent that we need to resolve it.
Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Nogbe. Away from that, the Ghana Tourism Authority has closed several hospitality facilities in Kaswa for operating without proper licenses and failing to meet regulatory standards. The affected facilities are located in central Kaswa and Ofako in the Ewutu-Senya East Municipality, as well as Kakraba and Nyenyano in the Gomwa East District. The closures form part of a nationwide effort to enforce compliance with the registration and licensing of food, beverage and entertainment enterprises. 2016 LI 2238. Deputy Director of the authority's Accra West Regional Office, Shine Dela Gonu, told Citi News that most of the facilities fail to meet basic operating standards.
This is Abawo guest house located at the Aswa. It's illegal unit, meaning it doesn't have the Ghana Tourism Authority license to operate. It's not registered with the authority and has been operating for all this while. So as part of this national exercise to clamp down on illegally operating hospitality facilities, we are here. We've asked from the operator to find out if he has our license. He has confirmed that he's not having it. And for that matter, we are closing it down. This closure is part of the nationwide exercise that is going on by the Ghana Tourism Authority. By the laws of Ghana, before you operate a restaurant, a travel and tour, a hotel, a guest house, a hostel, a charter flight, you must have the Ghana Tourism Authority license. The issue about the standards of the facilities lies within the supervision of the Ghana Tourism Authority.
He added that the facilities will be reopened only after their owners take steps to regularize their operations and meet the required standards. He cautioned, however, that reopening the businesses without authorization would amount to a criminal offense punishable by law.
Most of these units are operating without the necessary security measures and other things in place. So if we allow them to operate, then it means that, our tourism has gone way haywire. And you know, Kaswa per se is a den, more of a den for criminals and other people. That's why we are very much concerned about making sure, and you yourself, you will testify that some of the units we visited doesn't even merit to be a guest house. But here we are, they are operating under the cover. Now that we have enforced closure, you are supposed to pay a penalty.
What if they fail to show up and then yet go ahead and then operate their businesses? We will prosecute them.
If those that we have enforced closure, should they fail, then we will have no option than to take them through the law. We'll prosecute them. We'll make sure that they are arrested and then prosecuted. That is the ultimate.
Deputy Director of the Accra West Regional Directorate of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Shine Dela Gonu, speaking to our Central Regional Correspondent, Akwesi Ado. To one of our headline stories, where the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, also known as the Ridge Hospital, has condemned an alleged assault on one of its nurses by relatives of an accident victim in its emergency triage. The hospital management explained that the group stormed the facility, disrupted medical procedures, and created unnecessary tension. Head of Public Relations at the facility, Juliana Haruna, told Citi News that although the actions of the patient's relatives are unacceptable, clinical care is still being provided to patients.
It's unfortunate that that had to come up. The disruption in the emergency unit was due to the relatives invading a restricted area while patients were attending to other critical cases. So when you look at the statements we put out, we had one of our nurses being assaulted. She had a cut on her left hand, and currently she is on admission. She's receiving treatment. So as a facility, We appeal to public cooperation. We understand the anxiety of the families during emergencies, but interference in the triad delays care and endangers life. If you look at the video, the clinicians had to step aside because they were being interfered and they were being threatened by these people. Okay, so we appeal to the public. When it comes, we know the emergency triad is one of the busiest units in the facility. We ask the public to cooperate with us whenever they come there. Management, intensified security by bringing the police officers on board. So the place was calm and the clinicians resumed their duty. As we speak now, the patient is still at Rich Hospital receiving treatment. His relatives are here and he's receiving treatment at the moment. So he wasn't referred to any hospital. They are still treating him here.
Juliana Haruna is head of public relations at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. 14 people injured in the Isukoko fuel tanker crash have been transferred to the Whole Teaching Hospital and the Greater Accra Regional Hospital for specialized treatment. 4 people, including 3 women and a 1-year-old, lost their lives on Thursday, August 14, when the fuel tanker plowed into traders and shoppers at the Isukoko market in the Karachi East municipality of the Oti region. Speaking to Citi News, Assembly member for Isukoko, Mark Oduro, said the community remains in shock with many families devastated.
The death rate is still 4. Then those who sustain severe injuries, the 2 little girls are referred to Rich Hospital Accra with the help of the company. They came down and with the MC, the assembly leaders, we all met the bereaved family. We went to Okatniase, where one woman came from. And after that, we came back to Katanga. For them, they experienced 3 deaths. The same house, the same family, 3. And this 3, the woman who died with the child was not the end. Though. She was there with other children. So additional 2 children of the dead woman were also severely injured and they are being transferred or referred to Rich Hospital Accra. Yeah, so we met the family, we started planning about the whole thing, how to take care of those who are at the hospital and also meeting the family with other issues. And also we have some at Rara Government Hospital who are severely injured. That is the state so far.
Mark Odoro is Assembly member for Isukoko in the Karachi East municipality of the Oti region. Minority leader Alexander Fenyomakin has accused the Mahama administration of neglecting key policies of the Akufo-Addo government, worsening unemployment. He cited the scrapping of initiatives like the One District, One Factory policy and related tax exemptions, which he says have discouraged investment and slowed job creation. Speaking at the Grand Deba homecoming and handing over ceremony of the Asante Students' Union at the University of Ghana, Alexander Fenyomakin called on the government to create a more business-friendly environment.
More than 1 in every 4 young Ghanaians wakes up each morning with no meaningful job to go to. Our overall unemployment rate is nearly 15% according to official sources. When young people can't find jobs, it is not just an economic problem. It becomes a threat to our national security in a region experiencing various forms of armed conflict. What makes this worse is that our current government has abandoned programs that were actually working. They've killed the 1D1F initiative that the previous NPP government started. They've blocked the tax waivers that were to help industries grow under that program. Tax waivers that were to help create real jobs for the real people. Here is what this means. When government fails to create the right economic environment to inspire the creation of new jobs, young people must innovate to create their own. When leaders won't build opportunities, the next generation of leaders must build them from the scratch. The choice is simple. Either we solve this unemployment crisis or it will solve us in ways we won't like. I will say no more.
Fenyomakin also disclosed that more than 291 million cedis loaned to small businesses under the Microfinance and Loans Center has remained unpaid for the past 12 years, a situation he warned is crippling the economy.
My dear students and members of ASU, let me remind us of one of the biggest threats to entrepreneurship. Over 291 million cedis loaned to small businesses through Maslock remains unpaid after 12 years as of February last year. In our banking sector, 654 million cedis vanished as bad debts in just 5 months of this year. In mobile money, people borrow and simply disappear into the digital darkness. This culture is a cancer eating at our economic soul. If you receive support, whether from your MP, from Maslock, from any company, any financial institution, or from any helping hand, your own family members, your parents, use it with excellence and repay it with integrity.
Yeah, the minority leader Alexander Apenyo marking. You are still listening to the Citi Prime News. We are live in the northern region on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM in the Upper East region, quality 88.7 FM in Garu, and in the Upper West region we are on Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Drapa 96.1 FM. Still to come in this bulletin, NDC executives in Bimbila protest school feeding allocation as they reject outsiders in school feeding slots.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025, a celebration of excellence in locally made goods and services. This year's exhibition brings together the very best that Ghana has to offer, from timeless traditional crafts to cutting-edge innovations. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, this is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. Join us in championing Ghanaian talent, creativity, and authenticity. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Afro Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Build Financial Technologies, and Twillium Industrial Company.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You will come back to the Citi Prime News. I am Zoe Abubeiduado. Now, zonal executives of the ruling National Democratic Congress in Bimbila in the northern region are protesting over the allocation of the school feeding program. They claim the municipal chief executive for Nanumba North initially assigned schools in their zones to them, but the slots were later given to persons they describe as outsiders. Some coordinators told the media they will prevent others from cooking in their communities until the decision is reversed. The dispute escalated during a meeting with the regional coordinator while the regional coordinator was addressing caterers in Bimbila. Here are some zonal executives speaking to Citi News.
We were given a school feeding program zone by zone, but now today we have heard that we will no more get the schools to feed again. So we don't know the reason why the schools have been taken away from us. And people are coming from somewhere, Tamale, to come and take over schools in Nanumba North to feed. Meanwhile, we are all party people and we fought and the party won. So what we are supposed to also benefit, people from different or outside Nanumba North have come to take over from our home and we don't understand.
You can't understand that when somebody gives you things in his place and you are elsewhere giving appointment to people from top there to come to our constituency, our electoral areas to come and do the feeding program. We will not accept it. So I want to understand her that if he made a mistake and let a woman from elsewhere to come to our community to do the feeding program, in fact, we will not agree.
You had some NDC Bembela constituency executives protesting the allocation of the school feeding program. The regional coordinator declined to comment when contacted. Now, a member of the NDC's legal team, Victor Kojuga Adaudu, has criticized the Commonwealth Lawyers Association and the Bar Council of England and Wales for demanding the immediate reinstatement of suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Sakitokonu. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, Mr. Daudu says the foreign bodies had overstepped by attempting to dictate outcomes to Ghana rather than respecting the country's constitutional procedures.
See, they should have just been saying that, oh, we are watching and we are listening, that if due process will be followed, which I believe is being followed, than then saying that we are issuing an ultimatum to a sovereign country. Yeah. Right? And I don't see how lawyers, even in Britain, will issue ultimatum to their government that do A, B, C, D. You see, they should not rake those colonial mentality and say that, look, this is what we used to do, and people will still influence them with it. No. I think every country is a sovereign country. You see, they should not belittle our intelligence. Exactly. Even people in this country are watching keenly. They want to see that the right thing has been done. Right.
You had a member of the National Democratic Congress's legal team, Victor Kojuga Adaudu. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources says the government is considering stringent measures as part of renewed efforts to tackle illegal mining. The ministry explained that a crucial cabinet meeting has been held to address key issues in the fight against illegal mining, including the contentious legislative instrument, which critics argue should be scrapped. In an interview with Citi News, Media Relations Officer at the ministry, Pakwesi Shandov, said the government will soon roll out renewed actions to combat illegal mining.
All the suits across the endemic regions. As of now, they are intensifying those engagements to ensure that our forests are devoid of illegal miners, no matter the numbers. There are also ongoing conversations that whose outcome, I think, they will be formally communicated in due course, bordering on some of the legislative frameworks and it's like the appropriate accompanying policies and laws surrounding illegal mining. But all in all, the government is renewing its strategy against illegal mining. In the matter of days, the full-blown comprehensive draft of enhanced measures will be announced, and I'm sure it will be to the benefit of all Ghanaians and to Ghana are following to it as well. The declaration of a state of emergency and indeed all recommendations that have come from industry experts and stakeholders and advocates have been duly noted by the ministry and government at large. And so, like I said, in due course, the framework, the new operational framework will be formally announced, and I'm sure we'll have the clarity and details of all the renewed measures that we are adding to the fight against illegal mining.
We apologize for the poor quality of that audio there. That was a media relations officer at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Pakwesi Shandov. Now, Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi Mines Managing Director Samuel Boachi Pobi has described the recently launched Responsible Corporate Mining and Skills Development Program by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources as the right response to illegal mining. Mr. Pobi, who was the main speaker at the UMAT 13th Annual Alumni Lectures, told Citi News on the sidelines that the initiative promotes sustainable mining practices while empowering locals. He said it must be supported but also constructively criticized where necessary to ensure its success.
This illegal mining issue is not something that is difficult to solve if we have right leadership. But I believe that the minister's initiative that they've launched about the community cooperative mining and skills development, I think it is the right answer to it. We just need to come together as Ghanaians and critique it, make sure that we are participating, giving him our feedback about how it should be done well. Other countries have done well, and you saw in my lecture, I mentioned Peru. Peru went through similar things and they formalized it. Even China, in the early 1990s, they had small-scale mining issues, but they formalized it. They trained their workforce to do it more responsibly. And we need to do that. Invest in R&D. You can't be having these complex ore bodies and others tell you how to mine it. You need to know it yourself.
You heard Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi Mines Managing Director Samuel Boachi Pobi. Now, Chief of Staff Julius Deborah has urged participants of the Trans-Africa Tourism and Campaign to remain vigilant as they embark on a 40,000-kilometer road journey across 39 African countries beginning today. The 163-day initiative aims to promote a visa-free Africa by 2030. The team's first stop is Lomé, where they will meet African heads of government, hold press briefings, showcase culture, and engage stakeholders. Addressing the media before their departure, Julius Deborah urged the participants to strictly adhere to security protocols.
Attention that security is the most important thing because there are ugly people all over the world, and so as much as possible they should try and spend the night within town. They can always calculate easily and stay in town where at least you have the lack of people looking around. Usually when you spend too much time in the bush, it's crazy. You don't want to do that. And I've also prompted that they should pay attention to their logistical needs. Make sure you have spare tires, you have your jack, you have extra brake parts and brake fluid and medication so that if something slows you down, you are able to change and immediately move on. They must also stay in touch with their various missions. Every country, once they are entering, they notify the folks at our mission, be it an embassy or high commission, let them know. You are Ghanaian citizens and you need to get as much protection as possible. We wish them well, and it is our prayer that once again they will put our name on the map of the world.
That was the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah. Campaign leader of the Trans-African Tourism and Campaign, Ras Mubarak, also underscored the need for a common currency in Africa and a borderless Africa, which is part of what the campaign seeks to achieve.
We'll be able to create more jobs for African sons and daughters. So we have decided to begin this journey. It's going to take us 163 days, approximately 600 hours of driving, or 40,000 kilometers on the road. And to meet with African heads of government, to address the press in every country that we go to, and then to urge them on the need for the people of Africa to come together, spending one currency, having a borderless Africa, and you have absolutely no idea the impact on our people. I'll give you just two quick examples. We want people to trade with our countries, yes, but it's also important for us to trade amongst ourselves. If you look at the population of Lagos in Nigeria, Lagos is 30 million people. So you can imagine if Ghana made a strategic decision to provide food for Lagosians alone, you can imagine its impact on job creation here.
Ras Mubarak is campaign leader of the Trans-African Tourism and Campaign. Now, the Executive Director of the Institute of Education Studies, IFES, Dr. Peter Anti, is calling for a stronger, more targeted approach to managing riots in senior high schools. His remarks follow the indefinite closure of the Bolgatanga Technical Institute after students' unrest resulted in the destruction of the school library and the senior house master's office. In an interview with Citi News, Dr. Anti says such incidents should be carefully profiled and handled individually.
In most instances, when these things are happening, you will see that we try to come out with one-size-fits-all solution. I've heard the Minister of Education say that there needs to be increase in security on our campuses. That is good. That is true. But we need to now go a step further and profile these disturbances so that the solutions that we come out with would be specific to the challenge in those, schools that we are dealing with. There are schools that need external security. There are schools that need to train their internal security, those guys that stand at the school entrance. There are schools that need, once in a while, there's that kind of set of students' bars and students, the dormitory and other things to come out with this. But there are schools that need personnel development in terms of dispute resolution, in terms of counseling, in terms of student disciplinary handling, and other things.
Dr. Peter Anti is Executive Director of the Institute of Education Studies. And that's how we wrap up this edition of the City Prime News, which came to you live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. You can log on to citynewsroom.com for more news. I am Zoe Abubedu Ado. Many thanks for listening.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
Hello everyone! Prices continue to drop at Electroland Ghana Limited. CDA Picky promotion on Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO Electronics. Get a NASCO 24-inch LED flat for $8.99 Ghana